Hello? Hello? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Hey, what? No, that's not the song, huh? All right, so now we're gonna go, everybody's here, right? Yes, I guess. Yeah. So now we're gonna go over the NVR and what the features, what the NVR has, right? Now, these are the NVRs that we carry. We carry the 3 series. 301, this is the mini NVR that you could put only one hard drive up to 8 terabytes of space. And as you guys saw, 8 terabyte can give you a lot of space for a small NVR. They come with 4 and 8 PoE, and we have them in small solution of up to a 16 channel. Then the mid-range, which is the 1.5U, 2U case, we have 16 channel and 8 channel with PoE, 32 channel with 16 PoE, and also 64 channel NVR. On the 64 you could put up to 8 hard drives of 8 terabytes each. On the 32, 4, and on the 16 and 8, 2 hard drives. With U-code technology, you don't need to use mini hard drives to storage even more than the regular NVRs. So now, this will be for big projects. As I mentioned, don't be afraid to come out to a big company or big corporations. You have a solution. With this project NVR from Uniview, you have up to 128 channels. You can put 16 hard drives of 8 terabytes each, but you can also put additional 48 hard drives. Because it has, right here on the bottom, it has 2 mini SAS connection that you can put 2 servers, and each server has 16 hard drives just as a storage. So the total number is up to 48 hard drives. When you have that much data, you need to have RAID for reliability. It has all the RAIDs that you can imagine. RAID 0, 1, 5, 6, 10, 50, and 60. And this NVR is hot swappable, meaning if one hard drive goes bad, you don't have to turn on the NVR. You can simply open the cover, take out the hard drive, put the other hard drive back in, and you're done. No configuration is needed. It has 2 built-in HDMIs and a VGA that you can use for spot or whatever. But then you could also put additional 12 HDMI outputs to make a big video wall and have anything you want in each individual HDMI outputs. These 2 additional HDMI outputs is optional. It's like a video card in your computer you just buy and install it. It doesn't come with it. That is optional. It has 4 gigabit Ethernet cards for your network to be able to handle 128 channels. It has also 2 fiber optic ports right here for those faster Ethernets or internets. And you also have your eSATA connector. Where is it? Somewhere here is the eSATA connector for backup or anything. 4 USBs 3.0. Intelligent fan, meaning if the temperature goes higher, the RPMs on the unit goes higher. If it's low, the RPMs are low, so you don't have a noisy server all the time. 12-volt DC output over here if you wanted to connect something else. And redundant power supply, meaning you have 2 power supplies. One of them is optional. In case one of them goes bad, the other one kicks in just right away. And if you want to replace it, simply take it out, put back in the other power supply. That is a very powerful Project NVR. Records at 4K with Ultra H.265. Now for the NVRs. Remember what I mentioned, Super is for the IP cameras. Now for the NVRs is Star. So together they make a Super Star. Pretty much that's what they say. I didn't make it up. I swear I'm not making this up. Yeah, so the NVR, they use Star. What does Star means, right? Storage. Everything related to storage. The compression, the RAID capabilities, hot swap, ANR, and NAS. We'll go over that. Tops, meaning top quality resolution recording. Cloud upgrade, you guys will love that. We'll go over in a bit. Top PoE range, better than anybody else. And top usability, it means just easy to use, right? Analysis, all the features that the IP cameras has on their VCA, the NVR have it as well, video content analysis. And they also will talk about why they're so reliable. Let's start with the first one, which is storage. As I mentioned before, the storage capabilities, right, of an IP camera will work with the NVR. How many hard drives is needed to store 4 channels at 1080p? Now this is 4 channels at 1080p, right, for 3 months. Typically with H.264, you use 4 terabyte hard drives. With Uniview, UCO technology, you only need 1. You save a lot of money and you could charge your customers a lot of money. The money that you save from the hard drives, you can get it from your customers back, right? And this is what I mentioned before. 4K only takes 2 Mbps. 1080p only takes 1. And you can charge your customers for all the other 4. You see? You guys make money that way. So it can save you a lot of storage and it can put more money in your pockets. As the compression is the same, as I mentioned, 2 megapixels is 1 Mbps, and 4K resolution is only 2 Mbps. So now the rate functions, right? Those are the models that supports the rate. Only the big NVR supports rate 50 and rate 60. But any other NVR that is 1.5 and 2U case supports the rate function, which is very a good feature to have, because other NVRs do not have rate, even if it's a 32 channel. Now you could have rate in all of those models. Here's a quick overview of what the rate functions are. As I mentioned, I will recommend to you guys to Google it up a little bit more, read a little bit more in details. This presentation will be available to you guys, so you guys will have this information as well. So that's just a small introduction about what the rates can do and with how many hard drives it works. Look at Patrick over there, really. It's tracking him, you see? Is it? There you go. Alright, let's go into the next one. They're hot swappable. If a hard drive goes bad, simply open the cover, remove the bad hard drive, put back the other hard drive. And that feels like you're a great tech. You know, you just pop it out, pop it in, and that's it. People look at you like, oh my God, you're a god. But no, that's it. The NVR will help you do that. Now, ANR, that is a feature that most of you were asking. For example, you have an IP camera. The IP camera has a micro SD card. Let's say the NVR loses connection to the internet, right? Most likely, when that happens, your IP camera cannot record or send the video to the NVR, and you lose that footage. ANR feature means when the camera loses the network connection, it will start recording everything into the micro SD card. Once the camera is coming back online and connected to the same NVR, all the data from the micro SD card will be pushed automatically to the NVR. So you don't have any downtime of recordings or any events. Imagine during the time that your network was off, an accident happened. Typically when your regular cameras, you cannot record, you lose everything. But with the ANR features, records everything on the micro SD card automatically. Then once you have the connection again, all the data goes back to the NVR, which is great if you ask me. You always have the data no matter what. Now, NAS. NAS, for those of you that don't know what NAS means, it means network attached storage, right? It's pretty much a hard drive on a different location or a hard drive in your network. These NVR support NAS, so you can storage or record everything off-site, meaning not in the same location or building. And at the moment, it supports these three models of NAS. Later on in the future, Uniview will support more models, but these are the ones that are solid and they know they work 100% for NAS solutions. Now let's go into the second section, tops. Why is it top of the line? Because of the ultra 4K resolution output and also recording. That's just a standard 1080p size, and that is 4K. It's pretty much 4 times 1080p. Now, this new feature they implemented, it is great for places that have corridors, such as schools, hospitals, and any other business that have corridor. How does it work? This is the normal view of a camera, and I'm pretty sure all of you guys go through this. How can I get the whole corridor, or how can I make it look better, right? So with corridor mode, you get more coverage. As you guys can see, you only see his neck, and on this side you see the whole body, and it can support up to 32 windows on corridor mode. And this is the difference how corridor mode can help you. Check this out. This is a true story. Once upon a time, there was this lovely lady that was walking by, and because the NVR had corridor mode, she was able to recover her money. On the NVR that didn't have it, you see right here that she dropped some money. How much? Probably $1 here. Probably over there is like 100. I don't know. But then this guy over here, look at how honest he looks like, right? He picks it up and walks away. And on the other one, did you see that? No. When did it happen? Who knows? Now you see this guy getting paid. He's like, oh my God, I'm gonna buy myself an iPhone 7. Great picture quality at night. And then this girl sees him and she's like, hey, give me my money. No, it's not, blah, blah, blah. And before he gets laughed, we stop the video. So that's the story of two lovely persons. Now they're happily married and have children. Now, that's how corridor mode can help you. It can cover the whole hallway. Corridor mode. Let's go to the next video. Alright, so now this is why you guys will buy this system. How do you upgrade an NVR or a DVR right now? You call the tech, you need a model number, then you go to the website, you download the firmware, you extract it to a USB, you plug it into your DVR, you turn on the DVR and pray to God it updates the system, right? It is a hassle. Sometimes if you give the tech the wrong model number, now you have a brick, really nice brick, expensive brick in your customer's place because you messed up the DVR. Now with Uniview, the way to upgrade their NVR systems is very difficult. Look, one click. That's it. You don't need to know anything about the NVR. As long as you have the network, you just click upgrade and it will do it. Just like in your cell phones. You get a new upgrade, you click upgrade and that's it. You never worry about if you have the iPhone 7, when it was released, what firmware, what hardware do you have. You just click upgrade and that's it. And you can do that with all the Uniview NVRs now, which is great if you ask me how to upgrade the system. Even your customers can do that now without having you to do it, right? Now, typically, in order for you to upgrade your IPC or your IP cameras, right, you can do it both ways. You download the firmware onto a USB drive, you plug it to your NVR, and then you can upgrade your IP cameras from the USB drive. Right? With Uniview as well, you can do that, or you simply select one click on the NVR, the NVR will download and upgrade your IP cameras automatically without you having to worry what models do you have, which is a great feature. You don't need to worry what models, what firmware, or what software you're running. One click and you upgrade everything. It's good, right? Yes. Now it is top quality because top range PoE. You just run cable, 850 feet for the cameras, and only a specific model you can run up to 1,000 feet. No extenders, no repeaters, as I mentioned. Now, top usability. Why? Because they're plug and play. You simply connect the cable to the IP camera, to the NVR, wait a couple seconds, maybe 30 seconds, and you see the video on your screen. No configuration is needed. Now, the usability. This is something with technicians that are they want to know how much power it consumes in locations like booths or something that they tell you, oh, you only have 200 watts to use, 300 watts, and so on and so on. The NVR can tell you which PoE is in use, how many watts is using per that channel, and how many watts you have left. So that is a feature that they have on the NVR. For those of you that are very power picky about it, like, oh, I want this, I want that, Uniview has that. All right? It's not a bad thing to be picky about power, but it's a great thing to have. Now, when you do an installation, typically more than 5-10 cameras, you do one camera each time, right? You set out the video, the resolution, the frame rate, the bit rate, the motion. You set up everything and you spend at least 2 to 3 minutes or even more to set up one camera. Now imagine you have 128 cameras. You're gonna spend there all day. There goes your lunchtime, there goes everything, right? With Uniview, you just set up one camera and you can select copy to every other camera. So all the parameters that are compatible with the other ones, it will copy to the best resolution or to the best settings possible. Because you may not have the same IP cameras, but Uniview can do that. You just select copy and copy all the parameters, all the settings from one IP camera to all the other devices, which is easy, right? That's why it's top. Now, typically, the way you access an IP camera interface, right? The IP camera is connected to the NVR. You disconnect it, or you connect it to a PoE switch. Then you grab your laptop. You connect it into the PoE switch. You open the software to find the IP camera, and then you can access the IP camera interface, right? It's a lot of things to do. Sometimes you also have to unplug your unplug one camera, plug your laptop into the back of the NVR, run the software, find the IP cameras so you can log in, right? With Uniview, you don't have to do any of that. You simply log into the interface, web interface of the NVR system, and then it can redirect you to each IP camera web interface directly. So you don't need to unplug anything or do anything else. Just simply log into the interface of the Uniview NVR and access the other IP cameras from it, which is a great thing if you ask me, because I've done installations and it is a hassle to do all that, especially if the software is not scanning or they have firewalls or things like that. It's a hassle. With this, pretty easy. Now, third section, analysis, right? As I mentioned before, every IP camera has the analysis. Of course, the NVRs have that as well. Face detection, intrusion, scene, line crossing, people counting, defocus, and auto tracking. You can also search each individual smart events or BCA individually. You could only search for face, but you could only search for intrusion, line cross, scene, defocus. You can search for that individually. And the way to find it, it will be the same way as the IP cameras. You find it in the same way. It is very easy to find when any of those events happen that you're searching for. Now, the fourth section will be reliability. Why are the systems reliable? Why these NVRs are reliable? They do 8 systems reviews. They do 37 product level functional tests. They test the products like 37 different ways, right? They do 418 computer tests, like board tests to make sure it passes. They do 22 environmental and reliability tests. That means for the NVRs and for the IP cameras. And they test 201 product tests of every line. You see that? 201, not just 200, they had to go with one more. That's how picky they are. Now, this is called N+1 hot spare. It works exactly the same as the ANR feature on the IP camera with the micro SD card, but now this one is with the big NVR units when you have a tons of cameras. So when one of the NVRs loses the connection, right, the hot spare will take over all of those IP cameras and start recording automatically. Then once the main NVR gets the connection back again, all this data from the second spare NVR will push the data to the first NVR and it will be back on track. So you will never have any data loss or anything. This is great when you want to do maintenance or when you have hot spare function. You can remove an NVR and replace it, and then once you put it back in, the hot spare will flow you back all the information. So it is very reliable and not losing any type of video. Now, as I mentioned before, it has intelligent fan. Once the NVR reaches a certain degrees Celsius, the RPMs of the fan will start to go higher to cool down the NVR. Then the NVR, once it's cooled down, the RPMs will go down as well. This is great for those kind of customers that they have their NVR systems right in their bedroom, in their closet. I seen that, I heard that many times. How can you disable the fan? You cannot. But with this, the fan revolutions is low. If it gets hot, it goes higher. Then when it cools down, it goes lower. Same goes with the big NVR systems. When the temperature is like at 51 Celsius, the RPMs is at 3000. When it reaches 60, the RPMs goes to 5000 RPMs. So just to not have a noisy NVR system. Now, reliability, you need to have dual BIOS. If one of the BIOS goes bad, a BIOS is responsible to hold all the pretty much the basic instructions of the NVR, like the settings, the recording settings, the timing, the time zone, pretty much everything on the BIOS is storage. If one of them goes bad, then everything goes back to, like, let's say, factory defaults. But you have two. If one of them goes back, the other one takes over. It's reliable in that way. As I mentioned before, redundant power supply. If one of the power supplies goes bad, the other one takes over immediately. The NVR will never shut down or will never be off power. But you need to have two. You will need to buy the second power supply. Now, when they're reliable, you need to have strong security. You have dual passwords. You can use a password in your LAN, in your local area network, like 12345, but once you set it up to a 1, meaning for remote view, or you access it remotely, you need to have a strong password. If you do not have a strong password, you cannot log into the unit. It is required. That way, viruses that are going around the internet, hitting interfaces with admin 12345 or admin 123456, they're pretty much easy to get hacked or easy to access. But with a strong password, you will never have that issue. And if somebody's trying to log into your NVR, a lot of times, it will log them out. After 5 times, they will get locked out for 10 minutes, and you will also receive an email alert letting you know, hey, somebody is logging into the NVR illegally, or they're trying to, they don't have the password, which is pretty good in that way. Now, this feature, a lot of the NVRs don't have it, it's watermark. to prove that the video is real, to prove that the video has not been messed with. And when you have watermark, when you show this to a judge in court, if something happens, you most likely win the case, because watermark proves them that the video is not messed with and is strictly from your location. You could have your business name or the business name right there, and most likely the watermark will help you in that way. That concludes the start functions of the NVR system. Once again, the S for storage, everything related to storage. TOPS for the top quality in video. A for the analysis, the video content analysis. And R for the reliability, why are they so reliable. Now we're gonna go over a quick presentation of the EasyView. That is the mobile software. The mobile phone software, EasyView. You guys can download EasyView from the App Store and from Google Play Store. Why is it called EasyView? I don't know, I wonder why. Easy to add devices, easy to operate, easy to view, and easy to upgrade the devices. You guys would like that as well. Easy to add. You got 3 ways of adding. Auto search on your LAN network, manual adding if you have the IP address of the unit, and scan. You can scan just the QR code and you're done. And you will access your IPC cameras or your NVR units that way. That's how the way you add them into the mobile software. Now, easy to view. They have a web portal they call EasyCloud. Meaning you go to the EasyCloud web portal and you type in the serial number of the NVR and you will be able to log into that NVR no matter where you are. You don't have to do port forwarding or anything like that. You just go to the EasyCloud and you could access your NVRs like that either through a web browser or through the mobile app interface. Now, just a quick overview of the app. Easy to operate. You can drag and delete windows, meaning if you don't want that window or that camera, you can drag it to the top and delete it. You can do PTC controls and directions. You can just move it with your thumb, and if you want to zoom in, you pinch in the screen just like you will zoom in your phone to see a picture closer. That's how you zoom in on a PTC. And to navigate through playback, you simply swipe left to go back in time or swipe forward to go forward in time. Now, this is very important. Remember the one-click upgrade for the NVRs and one-click upgrade for the IPC cameras? Now you can upgrade your NVRs and your IP cameras straight from your mobile app. If you have your NVR in your mobile app, you will get a notification letting you know there's a new firmware. If you want to upgrade, simply click upgrade, and then the app will do everything automatic for you. And thank you very much for coming today. That's all for today. Let's go over the raffle. Thank you. Where's the ticket? Can I have the tickets over here?
We got some money. The answer is yes.